Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney, founder of IRA Financial, and on today's AdBits, breaking news, 2024 new IRA and 401k maximum contribution numbers, and that's what we're going to discuss. So I suggest if you are listening to this podcast, I will go through all the numbers, so don't worry, but you may want to watch this on YouTube, because I actually have a breakdown of all the new numbers that you can see on screen, which may add a little bit of clarity to what I'm saying. But I'm going to start with Solo K and then go to the IRAs and Roth, SEPs and SIMPLE, talk about 23, talk about 24, give you some comments, and kind of sum it all up for you. So when 2024 rolls around, you'll be ready and you'll know the new 401k and IRA max contribution number. So solo 401ks, you're self-employed, have a business with no full-time employees, set up a solo 401k. Or say you have a 401k at work. What's the most you could put in as an employee deferral? Well, in 2023, if you're under 50, it was $22,500. If you were over 50, it was $30K. We have a little bit of inflation, not as much as the year before. So the numbers have gone up from 22,500 to 23,000, and from 30,000 if you're over 50 to 30,500. So up $500. And those are employee deferrals, which can be done in pre-tax or Roth. The maximum that you can put away if you're under 50 in a 401k, but more specifically a solo 401k, was $66,023 if you're under 50. And that went up to $69,000 if you're under 50. If you're over 50 in 2023, it was $73,500. And the 24 max for the total contribution allowable to a 401k, $76,500. Now, if you work at Tesla, Apple, you're generally going to be able to do the max of either the 23 or the 30,500. And you may get a safe harbor match of 3 or 4%, but most defined contribution plans will not also give you a profit sharing. Well, if you did a solo K, if you're a sole proprietor or single member LLC, you'd be able to do 20% of your compensation. And when you add all that up with the 23 or the 30,500 if you're over 50, that cannot go above $69,000. So in essence, you have the ability to do 23 plus another 46,000 in profit sharing. So let's say you made $100,000, Schedule C under 50. You can do 23 for 2024, pre-tax or Roth, plus 20% of 100, or giving you a max of 43. If you made $1 million, you'd be capped at 69, because obviously 20% of $1 million is 200. You can't defer more than 69. Okay, and if you made 200, you'd be able to do 23 plus 40, giving you 43, which would work. If you are over 50 years old, you can go all the way up to 76,500. Okay, so let's say you made $100,000 and you're over 50 in 2024, you can do 30,500 plus 20% of 100, giving you 20,000 more, which allow you to contribute a total of 50,500, which is less than the 76.5. So that's doable. If you made 200,000 over 50, 30,500, 20% of 200 is 40, and now you're at 70,500, which is less than 76.5. So you're good. I use the 20% number because that's the Schedule C sole proprietor single member LLC. If you're a C or S Corp, the number actually goes to 25%. So you are able to do a larger profit sharing contribution. So that's kind of the solo 401k numbers in a nutshell, 23, and now the new 24 numbers. Let's move into the IRA world. Traditional Roth IRA. Traditional, if you're under 50 in 2023, 6,500, that's now 7,000, increase of $500. If you're over 50 with 7,500, now that's 8,000. And that's for traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. The one thing to note is for a traditional IRA, if you're a single taxpayer and you make more than $87,000, cannot do a traditional IRA if you're covered by a retirement plan at work. If you're not covered by a retirement plan at work, even if you make $1 billion a year, you can still do a traditional IRA of $7,000 or $8,000. It's only if you're covered by work. If you make more than 87, you can't do a traditional IRA. Why? The IRS doesn't want to give you additional deductions. 23 number was 83 instead of now 87. If you're a married couple filing jointly, and if the spouse is making IRA contribution and your spouse is covered by a plan, you have up to $143,000. Make more than 143, you cannot do a traditional IRA if your spouse is covered. If the spouse making the IRA contribution is covered by a 401k at work, 23 number was 136. It's now 143. And if an IRA contribution, if you're contributing and you're not covered by a work plan and you're married to someone who's covered, okay, so if your spouse is covered and you're not, whereas in the previous example, you're covered, but your spouse is not. If you're covered, okay, you're not. So if your spouse if you're married to someone who's covered covered by a plan, then that number goes up to 240. Okay, it used to be 228. So you have a little bit more wiggle room if the IRA contributor is not covered by a plan. Whereas if you are covered by a plan and you're married, it's 143. And if you're married and your spouse is covered, not you, it's 240. Okay, the old number was 228. Roth IRA. If you make more than 240, married file jointly, you can't do a Roth IRA. The old number was 228. Single, it's 161. The old number was 153. Remember, there's a workaround called the backdoor Roth IRA. Even if you make $1 billion a year, if you do, and you would think, oh no, I can't make a Roth IRA contribution, I make more than 240, I'm married, file jointly. With the backdoor Roth IRA, you simply make an after-tax IRA contribution and then make a conversion to Roth. Just note that if you have other pre-tax IRAs out there, there may be a pro rata formula on how much could be converted tax-free. SEP IRA, which is a pure profit-sharing plan, kind of like the profit-sharing contributions in a solo K, which is 20% if you're a sole proprietor, single member LLC, 25% W-2, C Corp, S Corp partnership. The old max in 23 was 66K, 24, it's 69K. There's no catch-up SEP IRA if you're over 50. So it's the same as the 401k for under 50. The only difference is a SEP IRA is a pure profit-sharing plan, whereas the solo K has the employee deferral of the 23 if you're under 50 or the 30,500 if you're over 50, right? And has profit sharing, giving you another 46,000. Whereas a SEP IRA is just a pure profit sharing plan. So if you made 100K with a SEP IRA, you'd be able to put away 20,000. There's no employee deferral. If you made $1 million in a SEP IRA, you'd only be able to do 69 in 2024. Simple IRA, which is again an employer plan, 23 was 15,000 plus a $3,500 catch up. It's now 16,000 plus a $3,500 catch up. And the catch up's only if you're over 50. There's no catch up if you're under 50. And that's it. That is the new 2024 maximum contributions. So just summarizing, the IRA and Roth went up $500. It's now 7,000 and 8,000 if you're over 50. It used to be 6,500 and 7,500 if you're over 50 in 23. And then the big one, if you have access to a 401k at work or through a solo K, the employee deferral, which is the most common way to save in a 401k, is plus 22.5 and 30 if you're over 50. And now it's 23 and 30,500 if you're over 50. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. This summed everything up. Again, I suggest if you can check out our YouTube channel, just kind of watch this podcast because there's a nice, beautiful graphic that will show you all the numbers and kind of make it easier to digest and understand everything I kind of just stated. So that's it. Don't worry, I'll be reviewing this many, many, many times in the end of 23 and going into 24. So I promise, if you follow me, watch me on YouTube or like listen to my podcast or follow our great Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, of course, Facebook, LinkedIn channel, you will be reminded of all the new 2024 IRA and 401k maximum contribution numbers going forward. So thanks again for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a lot of numbers, but it's important to know the new numbers so you could take advantage of the higher contributions and save more for retirement. Otherwise, take care and thanks for watching or listening. Take care.